मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधाम् बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। यस्य प्रसादात् अहमद्वयात्मा विश्वं समस्तं मयि कल्पितं च तं सर्वलोकैकगुरुं सदाश्री स्वयं प्रकाशं गुरुमानतोऽस्मि। गुरूणां चरणां भोजं प्रणिपत्य निरन्तरं तत्कृपालेशतोऽद्वैत चिन्ताकौस्तुभमारभे। ओम Akhandatvam, which becomes the Shastra Pratipadya Vishaya, meaning the Tatparya Vishaya. And this Akhandatvam then is what will determine how the Vakyam, Tattvanusandhanam Mahavakyam, will deliver its meaning. What is the Tantram? Shastra Tatparyam Athva Tatparya Vishayam Athva Tatparya Vishayatvam is the Tantram. And that Tatparyam has been also concluded through Shravanam as this is what is Brahman. And now, in order to tell that this Brahman is Atma, the Tattvanusandhanam Mahavakya has come to the surface. That means this Akhandatvam now is the Tantram. Questioning what is this Akhandatvam, the definition is given as Sajatiya Vijatiya Sajatiya Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam is Akhandatvam. And putting the light on what is Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam, or which is a part of that definition, because the definition of Akhandatvam has got three parts. Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, and Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam. Thus, all these three put together, how are we going to say that? Vijatiya Sajatiya Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam iti Akhandatvam. So now he says, how are you going to show that Brahmavastu is Swagata Bheda Shunyam? To which now the teacher has started his discourse, and he says, Nishkalam, Nishkriyam, Shantam, Niravadyam, Niranjanam, Kevalo Nirgunascha, Asango Hyayam Purushaha, Nitya Sarvagatasthanu, Achalo Yam Sanatanaha, Iti Shruti Smruti Bhihi, Avayava Guna Kriya Jati and Sambandha. Pratishedhena, by negating all these 5 elements, avayava meaning the parts, guna attributes, kriya any form of movement, jati something which is common, at least you require 2 things for jati to be there. Jati can't just be in one individual. Something that is common, and for something to be common, you will require at least 2 individuals. So jati and sambandha pratishedhena. Sambandha also requires minimum 2. So all these have been negated. So sambandha also can be between 2, but of this same, belonging to this same entity, like the hands and the body. The rest of the body and the hand have a sambandha, which means it is a part and the whole. The hand is a part of the body. So amsha and amshi sambandha can be there. But such sambandha is also negated by the shrutis and the smriti which was quoted above as kevalo nirgunashcha nishkalam nishkriyam shantam niravadyam niranjanam kevalo nirgunashcha. When you are going to contemplate on every word, you are going to ultimately find that avayava, guna, kriya, jati, and sambandha have been negated by these shrutis. But a question comes, as sir, just as there is the shruti which denies or negates Brahman having any parts or sambandha or jati or guna, we also come across certain shrutis which are now going to talk to us, and we will be forced then over there to imagine that there is some avayava, there is some guna, there is some kriya, there is sambandha. All these things are going to come. How? Which vakyas are those? Srishtyadi vakyaihi. Now those vakyas, those sentences which talk about Paramatma as being the karanam or srishtis, karanam for srishti, sthiti and laya, for creation, sustenance and dissolution. Over there, then are we not, do those vakyas not imply avayava, etc.? To which now it is said that by negating avayava, etc., what has that done? Srishtyadi vakyaihi jayamana avayava gunadinam. Though you are able to see that implication of some avayava, guna, kriya, etc., through these vakyas which are talking about Paramatma as the Srishti Karanam or the Karanam, Jagat Karanam, it's Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. Okay, though it implies that, yet when it comes to talking about Paramatma as devoid of all these 5 things, what do we understand? Gunadinam srishtyadi vakyaihi jayamana. What is known through this srishtyadi vakya? Avayava, guna, etc. We understand that because there is this vakyam which negates all these things, that it is not the tatparyam, it is not the intention of the Shruti to actually say Paramatma is with avayava, guna and kriya, etc. Got it? Jayamana avayava gunadinam shruti pratipadyatva abhavena. This is not what is intended by the Shruti to be conveyed. Then the second reason is Maya kalpitatvena. Then how do we understand and make it coherent? Maya kalpitatvena. That this is an appearance which is because of Maya. Maya kalpitatvena cha mithyatvan. And hence, because it is kalpitam, whether it is kalpitam through individual ignorance or the total ignorance called as the Maya. Maya kalpitatvena cha mithyatvad brahmanaha swagata bheda shunyatvam. Therefore, there is no swagata bheda. Bheda shunyatvam iti bhavaha. That is what is meant by the Shruti. Therefore, now this definition is a wholesome definition. Which one? As what is akhandatvam? Vijatiya sajatiya swagata bheda shunyatvam. This is a good definition. Sir, you have provided the definition to us, but we still need to taste it. And how test it in the sense, how are we going to examine the definition, how the pariksha of a definition is done? By trying to identify, is there any defect in the definition? What are the defects of a definition? What can
Ativyapti, avyapti, asambhavana.
These are the three defects: ativyapti, avyapti, and asambhavana. Okay. So now we have seen all those things. So now he is going to test the definition if it is carrying any form of ativyapti, avyapti, or asambhavana doshas. When the definition is free from all these, that becomes lakshanam. What does that become? Lakshanam. Okay. Lakshanam means something by which you will be able to identify the object. That definition by which you will be able to identify the object without any mistake, without errorlessly, you will be able to identify the object. For example, when you are going to say, what is a cow? You cannot say cow is an animal that gives milk. And people exploit it for their, selfish interest. No. Then animals which give milk are all mammals. All mammals can give milk to their infants in their infancy. So therefore, it will even cover everything from a goat to a buffalo to a horse to a donkey, everything. Is that what you mean to say is cow? No. So the definition over here, if you were going to say an animal which is a mammal, then it will become a defective definition because it has overspilled ativyapti. It has overspilled, that is ativyapti. Avyapti, if you say, well, cow is an animal that is brown in color. So you have cows which are brown. You have cows which are black, which are white, which are spotted, of mixed colors. Now, how will you say? So this definition, though, will help you identify a cow which is brown in color, but a cow is also black, white, spotted, etc. Therefore, this definition is somehow incomplete. So this incompleteness is said as avyapti because it doesn't cover the entire range of what is defined. It doesn't cover the entire range. So it is what? Avyapti. And asambhavana means if you say, well, cow is an animal that has an undivided hoof, ekashafa. The hoof of the cow is undivided. Sir, a horse may have a hoof which is undivided, but when it comes to any cow in this world, the cow will have a bifurcated hoof. So you are not going to find a single cow in this world which is without the bifurcated hoof. So you are giving a definition, you're giving some sort of an indication which is impossible to be found in any individual of that species. And therefore, this kind of indications or definitions are impossible. This impossibility is said as asambhavana. So if the definition carries any of these three defects, ativyapti, avyapti, and asambhavana, any of these defects, then what will happen? The definition will become an erroneous definition. When the definition does not have any of these three defects, then that definition is a perfect definition. And with such definition, you will be able to identify whatever that the definition defines. So presently, what have we defined? Akhandatvam. What is this akhandatvam? Vijatiya, sajatiya, swagata bheda, shunyatvam. Now we need to find out, does this definition have the defects of overspilling or incompleteness or of impossibility? Let us try to see that and how the teacher leads us through that. Swagata bheda shunyatvam akhandatvam ityukte. Say, suppose out of these three parts of the definition, if we were to only say swagata bheda shunyatvam is akhandatvam, okay, what were we to have? Retain only one part of the definition, which is swagata bheda shunyatvam. If this was the only thing that we want to retain, then what will happen? Ityukte, if this was said, sankhyaatmani ativyaptihi. Now, this will lead to the problem, to the defect of ativyapti. Where will the ativyapti take place? Look, the Sankhya Shastra, the Sankhya philosophy also talks about Atma. And according to them, this Atma, the Atma, according to the Sankhya Shastra, has Swagata Bheda. Does not have Swagata Bheda. Does not have Swagata Bheda. But it has Vijatiya Bheda and it has Sajatiya Bheda. Are you people getting it? I will tell you. According to the Sankhya Shastra, now we are talking about the Sankhya Shastra, the old school of the Sankhyas, not the Sankhya Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. Over there, the word Sankhya means Vedanta only. Okay? Sankhya Shastra says that there is Purusha and Prakriti. So now there are these two realities. So according to the Sankhya, their Atma is different from Prakriti. Prakriti is different from Atma. Therefore, this Atma will have Vijatiya Bheda, because Prakriti is a Vijatiya element and the Bheda will be there in Atma. So Vijatiya Bheda will be there. So also according to them, this Atma, which is Asanga, untouched, formless, yet there are many such Atmas, not one, but many such Atmas. So Purusha Bahulyam is accepted by the Sankhya Shastra. So Atma is, there are several Atmas, and all of them are how? Unattached and formless. This is the postulate of the Sankhya Shastra. When this is there, so this Atma of the Sankhya, which does not have Swagata Bheda, but has Vijatiya Bheda and Sajatiya Bheda. Correct? Sajatiya, other Atmas are there. So this Atma is different from this Atma, and A is different from B and C. So the Bheda of B and C is there in this A. So though if you were to say that Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam is Akhandatvam, then that this definition would have had misled you in understanding the Atma of the Sankhya Shastra is Brahman. And that is not the case. That's not the case. Therefore, it would have caused an error if we were to say, what is Akhandatvam? Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam. And therefore, in order to avoid this mistake, we have to have the other two along with Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam. Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam is also required. Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam is also required along with Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam. Ityukte Sankhyaatmani Ativyapti. Now look at that. Sankhyahi api Atmanaha Avayava Guna Kriya Jati Shunyatva Abhyupagamena. The Sankhyas have accepted Atma. How? Their Atma is Avayava Guna Kriya Jati Shunyatva Abhyupagamena. They have accepted absence of all these things. And therefore there is no Swagata Bheda. Swagata Bheda Shunyatva Sambhavat. So for them, Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam is possible in the Atma of the Sankhyas. Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam Sambhavat Tadvaranaya. And therefore, in order to avoid this kind of confusion, the next pada, the next part of the definition is essential. Varanaya sajatiya ityuktam. Sajatiya bheda shunyatvam is said. Taihi. Taihi means by whom? By the Sankhya's only. Taihi jivanam paraspara bheda bhyupagamena sajatiya bheda shunyatva bhavat nati vyaptihi. Now by adding the Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, what did we avoid? Ativyapti. Where the Ativyapti was taking place, it would have taken place had we not to add Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam. It would have had overspilled again into the Sankhya's, because the Sankhya's do accept Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam. They accept Sajatiya Bheda. They accept Sajatiya Bheda. Is that making sense to you, or are you people lost or confused?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes, Swamiji. समझता है.
Very good. Very good. I'm happy. Okay. Taihi jivanam paraspara bheda bhyupagamena sajatiya bheda shunyatva bhavat nati vyaptihi. And therefore, by saying sajatiya bheda shunyatvam, we have again avoided the overspilling, confusing our Atma with the Atma of the Sankhya Shastra. No ativyapti. Sajatiya swagata bheda shunyatvam akhandatvam iti ukte. Say suppose, sir, for the sake of brevity, for the sake of making it brief, for the sake of brevity, if we would have just retained Sajatiya bheda shunyatvam and swagata bheda shunyatvam as Atma, as the definition of Atma, or as the definition of Akhandatvam, sorry, better, as the definition of Akhandatvam, then what problem would have occurred? So he explains. Sajatiya swagata bheda shunyatvam akhandatvam iti ukte. Akashe ativyaptihi. Now the space. Does this space have sajatiya bheda? That there are different kinds, there are many spaces, or space is one? Space is one. So space does not have a sajatiya, another space. Correct? Therefore, in Akasha, there is no sajatiya bheda. Okay, does the Akasha, does the space have parts?
No.
No.
No. There are no parts in in the space.
Space.
Therefore, the space has swagata bheda shunyatvam. The space has swagata bheda shunyatvam. So if you were to only say sajatiya bheda shunyatvam and swagata bheda shunyatvam as akhandatvam, then we would have understood the space as Atma.
Yes.
And therefore, Akashe ativyapti varanaya, in order to avoid this confusion or this mistake, the third portion of the definition, which is vijatiya bheda shunyatvam, has to be included. Why, sir? Why, sir? Because when you say space, is space the wind?
No.
No.
Is space the fire?
No.
No.
Is space the water?
No.
Is space the earth?
No.
No. So space is there. Though space does not have swagata bheda, the space does not have sajatiya bheda, but the space has got vijatiya bheda.
Yes.
Because the wind, fire, etc. are vijatiyas.
अभी समझ में आया बात.
So now Akashe ativyapti varanaya, and therefore we will have to include the third part of the definition, which is vijatiya bheda shunyatvam, because Akash does not have vijatiya bheda shunyatvam. Akasha has vijatiya bheda. Correct?
Yes.
Akasha has vijatiya bheda. And for bheda, you keep remembering that, between the horse and the cow, where is the ashwa bheda?
Go.
In go. Where is the go bheda?
In Ashwa.
In ashwa. So also in Akasha, where is the Agni bheda?
In Akash.
Akasha. So there is vijatiya bheda.
Yes, Swamiji.
Akasha has vijatiya bheda. When Akasha has got Vijatiya Bheda, can you say Akasha is Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam?
No.
No, Akasha is not Vijatiya Bheda Shunya. Akasha has Vijatiya Bheda. So, therefore, to say Akasha has Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam is not possible. Got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes, Swamiji.
And therefore, when we want to say what is Akhandatvam, this Akhandatvam should not be misunderstood as space. And in order to avoid this mistake, we have Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam also included.
Got it.
Got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
So therefore, Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam, all these three are inevitable parts. So you cannot eliminate any of these. Got it? Nothing can be eliminated from this definition of Akhandatvam. Iti. So then now the Pariksha goes further. Pariksha means examining this definition. He says, sir, suppose if we were to say only Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, if we were to say only Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam is Akhandatvam, what problem would occur? So he says, Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam tad iti ukte. Tad means what? Akhandatvam. Tad means what? Here?
Akhandatvam.
Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam Akhandatvam iti ukte. What will happen? Sajatiya Swagata Bheda Yoho Abhyupagamaha Syad. If we were to only retain that much, then silently it means we have accepted that Akhandatvam has got Sajatiya Bheda, the Atma will have Sajatiya Bheda and Swagata Bheda. Correct?
Yes.
Because what is negated is only Vijatiya Bheda. What you have negated is only Vijatiya Bheda. Then that means you have accepted Swajatiya and Swagata Bheda. And if this would have happened, then what would happen? Abhyupagamasyan tatascha. Then what will happen? What will be the problem? Tatascha advitiya shruti virodhapattihi. By accepting Swagata Bheda and Sajatiya Bheda, Atma is one, non-dual, Nishkala, Nishkriya, etc. All those things which the Shruti is saying will be contradicted. Okay? Shruti virodhapattihi. Which Shruti? Advitiya Shruti, Advaita Shruti Virodhapattihi. There will be this problem of contradicting the Shruti. Got it? Which Shruti will be contradicted? Which means contradiction of the Shruti means that Pramana is denied. Then you are going against the Pramana, and without the Pramanam, will you be able to see? Will you be able to know without the Pramanam? Not possible. Therefore, we require Pramanam. And therefore, over here, you cannot afford to go against the Pramanam. And in order to show what is Atma or what is Brahman, what is the Pramanam?
Shruti.
Shruti alone is the Pramanam to show what is Brahma. Then mol lena, khamokhaye virodh mol lena with the Pramana. Is that going to take you anywhere?
No.
Therefore, Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam iti ukte, Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam Akhandatvam iti ukte, Swajatiya Swagata Bhedayoho Abhyupagamaha syag. It would mean that you have accepted Sajatiya and Swagata Bheda. And if Swajatiya Swagata Bhedas are accepted, then what will happen? It will go against the Pramanam. It will go against the Pramanam. Tadvaranaya. Tadvaranaya means Shruti Virodhapatti Varanaya. Varanam means to remove. Tadvaranaya. What is being removed? What is being avoided?
Advitiya Shruti Virodhapatti.
Correct. Advitiya Shruti Virodhapatti Varanaya Sajatiya Ityadi has to be included. Therefore, if you were to say only Vijatiya Bheda, all these problems will, the Virodhapatti will take place. And in order to avoid the Pramana Virodhapatti, Shruti Virodhapatti, Sajatiya Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam also has to be there in the definition. Got it? Yeah?
Yes, Swamiji.
Got it. Ekarasatva siddhaye swagateti. Okay, then Sajatiya, let us keep on the Sajatiya. Why we need Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam? So he says, Ekarasatva siddhaye. In order to establish, to know that Brahman is Ekarasa, homogeneous. Not that, because I'm a human being, Brahman is more present in me, and in ant and in mosquito less. No. Ekarasattvena. Because nowadays there are these, one very popular kind of a thing, that organization from Abu,
Brahma Kumari.
Name hum naam nahi lete. So then these people have got this funny thing. Paramatma is there in human beings, but in cockroaches and scorpions and all such pests, Paramatma is not there. Are bhai? Kaise? Who told you? How did you find out? What pramanam do you have for this? No pramanam. We only, somebody, some adesh comes and, this fellow then sits in meditation and he hears the voice. I am not there in cockroach and scorpions because they are so despicable. And no. In order to know what is Parameshwara, what is Brahmavastu, there is only one pramanam, and that pramanam is Shruti, and that Shruti says, Samoham sarvabhutayeshu, I am sama, equal in all. Ekarasatva, therefore, homogeneous, equal everywhere. Kai jada, kavi kam, ye nahi. Therefore, all these things that they say and all is good, and there can be a big following also, but that following does not mean anything. Just because there is a bigger number does not mean that what they say is truth. It just means that there are more number of people who are fools. That's all. It doesn't prove anything. Ekarasatva siddhaye swagateti. And that's why, in order to do the siddhi, in order to make the ekarasa siddha, what do they say? For that siddhi, to make it evident, what is to be made evident? Ekarasatva. Got it? Ekarasatva siddhaye, we need swagata bheda shunyatvam. Got it? Otherwise, somebody will come up. In Brahmanas, the Paramatma is more saturated, and in the other people, Mlechas, Paramatma is diluted. अरे स्वगत भेद हो जाएगा? नहीं, कोई भी हो. It can be anyone. Paramatma is equal and the same, one everywhere. Ekarasatva siddhaye swagata bheda shunyatvam has to be there. Evam padaprayojanam drashtavyam. Thus, now he comes to conclusion about this. Evam, thus, padaprayojanam, the purpose of all the padas, all the words in the definition has to be seen. Yojanam means to placement and its importance, and its avashyak means what is avashyak?
Necessity.
Requirement, its necessity is seen over here. Evam padaprayojanam drashtavyam. Now, therefore, what is akhandatvam? Go step by step. What is akhandatvam?
Bijatiya.
Yes.
Step by step. No. From the beginning.
Akhandatvam nama bijatiya sajatiya swagata bheda shunya.
Akhandatvam upadhireva. Why are you saying that? Because he said that it is not possible for akhandatvam to be called as upadhi, and even if you call as upadhi, it cannot be called as any kind of bheda. Correct? Bheda shunyatvam, not bheda, but bheda shunyatvam cannot be there. So we have proven to you that akhandatvam is upadhi, akhandatvam is bheda shunyatvam, and those bhedas are what?
Vijatiya, Sajatiya, and Swagata bheda.
Swagata bheda shunyatvam. This is akhandatvam. Got it?
Yes, Swami.
And why every pada is important over there? You cannot delete or forget anything.
To avoid ativyapti and avyapti and asambhavana, whatever.
Where was the ativyapti taking place and how?
It was taking place in the Atma defined by the Sankhya.
When would the ativyapti take place? By keeping what and by excluding what?
Yeah, by keeping only Swagata Veda Shunyatvam, ativyapti takes place in the Atma defined by the Sankhyas, because for them Swagata Veda is there.
No, if you would have retained Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam, then how will that become an ativyapti in those that Atma?
No. Because the other two Vedas, okay, the Sajati and Vijati.
You're right,
Veda,
you're correct, but you be very, think about it, make it clear.
According to them, there is no Swagata
if
Veda.
you would have had retained only that that part of the definition, which is Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam.
Yes.
The Atma of the Sankhya, does it have Swagata Bheda?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Swamiji, it has
Yes.
Swagata Bheda
It has
Shunya.
no Swagata Veda. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't have Swagata Veda.
Prashna suno. Does the Atma of the Sankhyas, does the Atma of the Sankhyas have Swagata Bheda?
No.
What Bhedas does this Atma have?
Vijatiya and Sajati.
Why do you say it has got Vijatiya Bheda?
Sajatiya.
Because it is a Purusha and Prakriti, the two
Correct.
of them.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Why do you say it has got Swagata Bheda? Sorry, Sajatiya Bheda?
Because
Many
according to them,
Atmas
there's
are
not
there.
one Atma.
Okay, very good.
Svahilya.
So if you would have had, but this Atma of the Sankhya, it does not have
Swagata Veda.
Swagata Bheda. So if you would have had retained the definition as only Swagata Bheda Shunyatvam, there is going to be overspilling and misunderstanding the Atma of the Sankhyas as the Atma of Vedanta, correct?
Our Akhandatvam. Yes. Huh.
Akhandatvam.
Yes.
And therefore, Tadvaranaya, in order to avoid that kind of a confusion or misunderstanding or an error, we need to include.
Sajatiya and Vijatiya.
No, we need to include what?
Sajatiya and Sajatiya Bhed
Shunyatvam.
Not Sajatiya Vijatiya. We need
No,
to
Bheda
include
Shunyatvam.
Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam, Vijatiya Bheda Shunyatvam. Got it?
Yes, Swami.
Okay. When will the Ativyapti take place in Akash?
Akash. Akash does not have.
Sajatiya Bheda Shunyatvam.
It doesn't have Sogata Bheda Shunya, Swami.
And
Because it
Sajatiya Veda Shunyatvam.
Akash has no Swagata Sajatiya Bhed, but has
Yeah.
Vijatiya Bhed.
Tell me, when will the Akash will have Sajatiya Ativyapti in the Akash?
Swamiji, Sajatiya and Sogata Bheda Shunyatvam.
Is there in space, but it has Vijatiya Bhed. So Akash has no Vijatiya Bhed Shunyatvam. Akash has Vijatiya Bhed.
Correct. 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 And hence, in order to avoid thus, evam pada prayojanam drashtavyam. Got it?
Yes, Swami.
Now, he goes a little ahead. And he says, prakarantarena. Now, prakarantarena. This akhandatvam we are going to tell you with in a different way. Prakarantarena. Prakarantarena athava, by giving athava means, or you can understand it even this way. Trividha paricheda shunyatvam akhandatvam. You remember? What did he say? First he said that you cannot define this as upadhi because, bheda shunyatvam or paricheda shunyatvam cannot become the definitions. You remember that? Purva Paksha's.
Yes, Swami.
We have spent a good amount of time on that. Purva Paksha. याद है कि नहीं है भाई सब लोगों को?
Yes, Swami.
In that, the Purva Paksha, in his second attempt to deny, what had he said?
Paricheda Shunyatvam is not possible.
Okay. Paricheda Shunyatvam is not possible. Now, the Siddhanti says, Paricheda Shunyatvam also, by this method also, we can prove Akhandatvam. How? Trividha Paricheda Shunyatvam. What are we going to say?
Trividha
Paricheda
Shunyatvam.
that this Atma does not have these three kinds of Parichet. In the original book, they have written Shrunyatvam. Just there is the printing mistake. Make it Shunyatvam. It is not Shra. It should be Sha.
Swamiji.
Okay. Now let us see this. How it is possible that this Atma Brahman is Trivida Veda Shunyam. We will see that when we meet next. Okay? तब तक के ये पक्का कर लो कैसे होता है. Because this is what is Akhandam, because Brahma is Akhanda Vastu. Now the Vakyam, so you know Brahman is Akhandam, but you do not know that this Atma is that Akhanda Brahma. Correct?
Yes.
And in order to show that Atma is this Akhanda Brahma, the Vakya has come to play its role. Mila?
Yes.
So what is the Tantram over here? What is the Tantram that will determine how the Vakya will function?
Tatparya.
Tatparya Vishayatvam will be the Tantram, not the other two. Okay? From there we have come up to this point. And so now Athava Trivida Trivida Paricheda Shunyatvam Akhandatvam. Okay?
Yes, Swamiji.
We are going to see that. And we are very soon going to complete this first chapter. Okay, it has taken us quite a bit of journey. In another 2 pages, we will be able to complete this text. Not the text, the chapter. So let's go to that. Slowly as we are progressing. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.